Hello and welcome to today's EMBN Show, and on the show today we've got lightweight bikes, we've got ludicrous bikes. Well, I guess the hot news over the past few weeks has definitely been the new Focus Jam Squared SL 8.7. Super slick, lightweight, and featuring the new Fazua Ride 60 system. Now, that motor, 60 newton meters, 430 watt hour battery in this bike, and I've actually ridden the Fazua at length, and it's quite an interesting motor. I really like, Chris, how it's got that little lever where you can push it, and it gives you, I think it's 12 seconds of maximum power. I think just over 400 watts.
Is there kind of like a big overrun on the motor, is it?
Yeah, exactly. So you don't. Sometimes we get caught into riding in sort of turbo mode, and sometimes you don't need it all the time, do you?
No, definitely not.
But I think this is definitely one of the lookers, isn't it, in the mountain bike world? It's
very sleek looking bike, isn't it?
You would not think that that's an e-bike, would you?
Especially that down tube area around that motor. It's really slim, isn't it? But it's not the first time Focus have been there to the lightweight game, is it?
It's not, is it? Do you know, that's funny, we were thinking about that. Now, Focus came out with the SAM and the Jam Squared bikes in 2016. They're actually one of the first brands to feature the Shimano E8000 motor. Now, that motor was 70 newton meters. I think on the Jam bike it had a battery capacity of 376 watt hours with the option of having a bolt-on range extender.
Tech pack, wasn't it? Doubled that battery up, 370 watt hour extender as well.
But obviously we're going to make comparisons, aren't we? Now, this current bike weighs in allegedly just over 19 kilos. Cast up by mine's back to 2016. That bike with more torque and a weight of around about, I think it's about 21 kilos.
21 kilos, yeah.
So it's funny how things have changed, isn't it?
How it goes around, isn't it? It's almost like a step forward, but then sometimes a step back. I don't know.
Now, talking of steps back, Chris, what do you think about this? This is a new GMC Hummer, 750 watt-hour motors in the front and rear wheel. We've
talked about this, haven't we? A fat bike with twin motors. I don't know.
Torque 160 newton meters. It is actually restricted to 25 kilometers now, or depending on what country you live in. But a bit of a monster,
different modes on this. So you've got cruise mode, which is just using the rear motor only, so you get the more miles out of the battery, which they say is about 40 or 50 miles per charge. Or you go for the traction mode, which switches it from the rear to the front wheel. So it's front wheel drive only in traction mode, which seems a bit odd to me. Kind of get it. I don't know what you think.
I'd still like to try one for sure.
And then you have the adrenaline mode, which is a front and rear.
You're getting so excited, you can't even say that.
But yeah, it's both wheel drive, so it's pretty crazy, isn't it? I think be interesting to see what could go up, especially those big fat tyres as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's interesting.
$4,000 these bikes start, depending on the size of the battery. So it's interesting.
Yeah, actually, going back a minute, folks. Now, we didn't mention the price of the Focus bike. Focus bikes start at 5,400 euros. So, yeah, two quite different beasts there. Out and about. How about this one to kick things off, Chris? Look at these kids here in the bus in Oahu.
Nice, Wahoo.
Wahoo, a trek rail, and the sent in by AA. Next up, this is closer to home. This is Llandegla Trail Centre. This is from Kieran. And another beautiful look at. I like the red colour on those track rails.
Of course, isn't it? Almost merging in with those reeds and stuff. Got this in from Tony. He's out on the Golfie. Old Boys weekend away in Scotland, doing the Golfie tracks, loving life out there on his Focus Jam Square.
It's all about the Focus this week, isn't it? And then this one's actually from Richard. Richard's on his Merida E160 out in Chase Water Reservoir in Staffordshire. Yeah, I love that Merida bike too. It's great, isn't it?
Nice colours. Well, we love seeing all your bikes here on Out and About. Make sure you use the upload service and get all your entries, pictures, videos, whatever in that uploader. Now, Christmas is coming and you're probably wondering what to get your favourite e-bike in your life. Well, we've got loads of new merch in the EMBN shop, Steve. We've got water repellent beanies. Have you seen those?
Will it have repelled last week in North Wales?
Oh, I don't know about that. and some hail as well.
Folks, we've got some classics. We've got some belters coming on the channel in the next few weeks, some adventures that me and Chris have been on. Bog surfing,
Hail riding, snow riding, we've got it all. But
I like the green cup.
it is cool, isn't it? We've got all the enamel cups on there as well. I've got some Christmas designs on there as well. So get into that EMBN shop and check out all the latest kit.
Coming up on the channel this week, we've got a hot week of content. On Friday, is it hard till worth buying?
Good question.
It is a good question. And on Sunday, we will be taking the High Bike 160 all mountain bike into the mountains.
On a proper adventure.
And ask the question, can one bike actually do it all? And then on Monday, Chris.
In the workshop, taking a look at what's that noise? All those ominous noises that come from your e-bike, I'm helping you locate them.
Okay, folks, it's another Focus bike. And
everywhere this week.
This is John. This is John out in Australia, and he's taken the Acrig style to try and get up this quite tricky rock step. Sorry, log step in this creek. Fair play, John. That's take my hat off to you. It's quite a tricky bit of manoeuvring to get up there, Chris. Isn't it?
That's the good thing about e-bikes, isn't it? You can go back and try it over and over again, getting those techniques dialed. But yeah, good to see you conquer that in the end. A few little sump guard scenarios and then cleaning it.
Good on you, John. Good on you.
Right, it's time to get into the comments from all our recent videos. And recently, Neil did a video about enduro racing on an e-mountain bike. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Jan Clark says, get Neil to an EWS e-race. Even the 50 or the 100 would be good to see. Yeah, a different cup of tea to that video, I have to say. You know, kind of the EWS E100 is
big day out, isn't it?
Pretty big undertaking, yeah. Pretty big undertaking.
We've got a comment in here from Daniel Sedlin saying, please have a head-to-head against lightweight bike against a full fat bike around a trail centre like Landegla.
It's a good idea.
I still think lighter is better.
Wow, well Daniel, we'll go and do that video for you. And then finally we've got Poino 3816. Bro, that gnarly scar on your thigh. Did you break your leg? Yeah, that was out in Chile. That's a pretty...
wasn't a broken leg though? Was it a broken leg?
It wasn't a broken leg.
It's like a hematoma.
It was a bad one. Definitely a bad one.
Internal bleeding.
But folks, let's know what you think about e-bike racing. It's I think e-bike racing is great. Just go and ride new trails, right?
It is hot subject.
Okay. It's Bike Vault time, folks, and what have we got this week? Have we got any hurdles? Have we got any gates? Or what poles have we got to...
We've got some nice looking bikes, Steve, that's what we got. We've got this from Nigel, we've got a Cube 140 Hybrid out in the Sunshine Coast, Queensland, Australia. Ooh, liking those town walls.
On the Syrup Trail.
On the Syrup Trail.
It's nice, Chris, isn't it?
Nice.
But this next one, I think, is even nicer from Paddy in Blackpool Beach, Lancashire.
Ooh.
That's clean, right?
Riding
Go
on
for
the
it.
beach. Do it.
Next up is a pretty mental looking bike, the Sondos. There's no description of who this is from, but I'm loving the colour.
It's cool, isn't it, with the custom graphics?
It's a bit of a mystery, this bike, isn't it?
Got a bit of a mismatch on the tyres. You've got a yellow logo on the Maxes on the front and a white one on the back. That's taking that from a super nice to a nice for me.
Really? That's really mean, I think.
Nice.
But Steve's Orbay Rise is in New York at the Round Top.
Well, I didn't know it was riding like that in New York.
In the Catskills, yeah. Yeah, it's a hell of a spot, that is.
What do you think?
I think super nice. Super nice. And following up is a muddy looking bike up at Glentress Trail. This is from Kay.
Typical winter style ride, isn't it?
It's kind of got like a homely feeling about it though, I think, don't you?
As homely as that ride up in North Wales last week.
So obviously that's a nice then. And next up, we have got a sunny shot from Prez out in Trysil in Norway. I think that's a classic Bike Vault shot.
Blue sky, bright bike. It's got all the recipes.
I think so.
All the ingredients.
Hit the horn, Christy boy! Next up is Rob, Common Solomon, another Landegla shot, Chris.
Whoa. Keen on the e-bikes in Wales, aren't they? Commensal Meta Power 2021 signature model, taking on Dave the Fox Trail. You ridden down Dave the Fox?
I haven't, no. But yeah, I'm not sure what signs in shots.
It's a little bit busy as well, isn't it?
Busy, isn't it?
Nice.
Talking about busy, well, Bugra is in Istanbul with all his mates.
All on all bears, isn't it, pretty much?
It's a bossy. Oh, hold on a minute. Look, there's that yellow bike.
Is it?
No, it's not. That's the old bear.
Got your glasses on?
No, I haven't. Someone told me off for wearing my glasses, so I'm like, yeah.
All on
yeah.
all bears.
Okay, like that. Yeah. All bears, lovely. I'm loving the orange and lemon colours.
I have a bit of orange and lemon.
Do you?
Especially in this slice.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's time to move on. That was a nice shot, folks.
Last shot in this week's Bike Vault is in from Matthew, who's got a giant Trance E Plus out in Moretti Forest in Auckland, New Zealand. After work power hour, so all good. Loving the colour of that bike.
Stunning, isn't it?
It
We've got to leave it on a high note, don't we?
Definitely, super nice for sure. So there you go, that's it for this week's Bike Vault and the show as well.
It is. Let us know your thoughts on the super new lightweight Focus Sam Squared with the Fazua motor.
And that Hummer all-wheel drive bike. Do you want to see some more all-wheel drive bikes?
I don't.
We don't.
See you next week, folks.